Hi, gorgeous Pisces family. I'm so excited to sit with you for this powerful November. It's just really, really beautiful. The main themes for everyone have to do with healing, with deep self-acceptance, deep processing of old emotion, and opening to new energetic cycles. So it's just one of those months where it's a really beautiful combination of when we allow the full range of our emotions to move through us, when we take the time to love parts of ourselves that need some time and attention, we open up so much energy and prepare the way forward. And I mean, I love this month for you all because it is Scorpio season, right? First 3 weeks of November are going to be all about scorpionic energy. We have Mars, Sun, New Moon, and Mercury moving through Scorpio during this time. And this is all great for Pisces, right? This is visionary energy for you all. This is big picture energy that really, really connects so beautifully with you. And so I want to just encourage you this month right out of the gate to let yourself bathe in those waters and see what wants to be birthed through you in the coming year, right? Because we are preparing for some very different energies this month as well. There are little, like, the shifts aren't exactly happening this month, but there are these little clues that things are about to change. For example, this is the last month of Neptune retrograde in your sign. It'll be going direct in December, but we're doing our last integration there. We are having our first full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, beginning eclipse season. And we've been having eclipses in Gemini and Sagittarius this last year and a half. So we're really starting to see that there's going to be a shift in where we're having eclipses, where the north node of the moon is going to be in a couple of months. There's this sense that things aren't quite how they've been for the last year and a half. And this is really exciting. It also means that it's a time to be really visionary and to let ourselves go there. And for you all, I really do think, and oh, I didn't mention too, in 2022, Jupiter is going to be with you all in Pisces. I'm so excited for Jupiter in Pisces. Oh, that's just my jam. Like, let's do it. I am so ready for that impact and the beauty of that. So my point being that this is a gorgeous month to really bathe in those waters. Notice what is wanting to be birthed through you now. You may have had things that you were birthing in previous years or even this year, and they serve their purpose and they're beautiful, but there may be some new ingredients that are really, really wanting to be brought to life in the coming months and years ahead. And you're going to be getting hits of that information in November. So that's the first part of it. Now we move through this big eclipse in Taurus, which is going to also move very well with Piscean energy and just kind of expand how you want to communicate, how you want to express yourself in the world. And then we hit into Sag season, a fellow mutable sign. We got Sun and Mercury moving on over there. And this is all about like the impact you make in the world. So most of the time this month, like November is just a very big, bold, juicy energy for Pisces. It's very much about the bigger picture and where you want to be going. And we've talked about this pretty much all of 2021, how important it is for Pisces to see with your eyes, see with your own version of vision, and not to cut yourself off or close yourself off from your own vision. And it was making me think as I was sitting with Pisces energy, I've been doing some really deep healing work with my therapist and just with myself, going to some beautiful, beautiful places. And one of the things I've really learned and noticed is, and this is something I think a lot of Pisceans will relate to. And I'm somebody with Neptune in my first house. So I kind of live in this other frequency. A lot of people don't. We are around though. But as a young child, I kind of had my own way of seeing the world. Like I literally saw differently than I thought I was supposed to. And so from the time, I was like 6, 7, 8, I taught myself to force myself to try and see through the eyes of everyone else so that I could fit in, so that I wouldn't be like this weirdo, that was doing things wrong or kind of like off. And so I shut down my vision to some extent. Especially when I was like at school or in, Chariot. Hi, I love Chariot energy. And, I realize now how often, that'll be like my go-to when I'm trying to survive in the world, is to shut down my vision and try and see it through everybody else's eyes, which is a pointless task. It assumes a lot about other people as well. How do I know that they're not also somebody who has their own way of seeing that they're trying to shut down? How do I know that they're not struggling with the same things as me or things that I have never imagined yet? There's a lot of assumption there. It's like an impossible task, because how am I supposed to know how another sees the world completely, right? Like, I'll never be able to fully get there. But the point being, where I'm trying to go with this, is that it's important this month, 10 of Wands, to return to your vision, to return to how you want to birth things into the world. And while that sounds really like basic, like, come on, Sarah, I know I have my vision. I know who I am. I know how to do this work. Like, I believe me. Yes, I agree. However, I think there's a subtlety to this, because the way that we naturally, each of us, connects to energy, to the world, to the way we see, it's innate in us. It's an innate part of us, so much so that I sometimes think we underplay how much Queen of Swords, hello, how much it can show, like how much it's actually doing, and how many messages and ideas are coming through that we are just ignoring because it just seems mundane. And 4 of Swords. Okay. So where I'm going with all of this is that taking the time to slow down and just really notice what's wanting to come through you, letting yourself see with your vision, letting yourself see through your own eyes is so important. And we're going to continue to work with this energy as we move into the new year and over the next couple of months as well. And this is a great time to just start the momentum there. Get into the flow of it. Allow that door to open. So we have the Chariot, and this is such a visionary energy. One of the things about the Chariot energy is chariots themselves are these kind of unwieldy contraptions, Roman contraptions, right? They have the 2 wheels. They're not good at turning. They were very dangerous in the races that were run back in the day. People would get turned over, toppled constantly. But the point being that the Chariot is about going very fast, very decidedly, very focusedly, very in balance toward something, straight toward it. No detours, no winding around, no just. And that's kind of the way I feel about whatever's trying to get birthed through you. It's laser sharp. You're not confused about it. It's not confusing. It's not something that you have to try and force yourself to understand. It's something that you know in your bones. It's something that is true in your bones, and you can see it. It's right there. If only you let yourself see with your own eyes, your own spirit, right? So there's something very crisp and clear that wants to come through this month. It doesn't need to be complex. It doesn't need to be world changing. It doesn't need to topple your life over. It might do any of those things. I don't know. But it can be simple. It can seem as simple as possible. And yet it's important for you to hear it. It's important for you to follow it. Because here's the other thing that's going on. You are closing out a cycle. Our good old friend 10 of Wands. This makes me think about the laborious task of trying to see through the eyes of everyone else so that, I don't know, I guess I survive or something, right? So that I don't embarrass myself in public, so that I don't embarrass myself and get ostracized by the rest of humanity, right? That's the fear. The 10 of Wands to me is kind of like that pointless thing where it's like you're carrying something you literally cannot get much further. You're carrying it all on your shoulders. You're not even looking around. You can't even see the horizon, the surroundings. You're not even present in the moment, right? It's those things we are carrying that cannot serve us. And that's another theme with this first eclipse, with Scorpio season, with this shift that's going on during this time. Things that are not serving need to be put down, right? And that just, it doesn't have to be huge. It can be, but I think sometimes we underestimate how powerful it is to just, you're reading a book and you don't really like the book, but you've decided you need to finish it because you're 200 pages in and you only have 100 pages to go, and you should finish it. You should be grateful and you should finish it. Put that book down. If you don't like it, put it down. Just stop reading it. Go read something you want to read. It's things like that. But I think the Ten of Wands is also about something bigger. It's like you're being asked to put your focus out here on the Chariot and take your focus away from these things that are kind of like keeping your vision small and keeping your vision trapped and keeping you kind of sunken in, right? Same with these two cards, actually. Like the Chariot, the Queen of Swords is very much about focused, clear, direct, honest energy. She doesn't mince words. She's not waiting for somebody else to give her permission. She's saying, this is what I want. This is where I need to go. This is how I see. This is what I'm experiencing. This is where I want to put my energy. Crisp, clear, simple sentences. That's what I always think of with Queen of Swords, right? Like if I were to ask you right now to write out the things you truly want, not what you think other people want from you or what other people think you should want or any of that. And you could write it out in simple sentences, as direct as you possibly could. What would it be? So that's what Queen of Swords does. And alongside of that, Four of Swords is one of my favorites. I really love this card. It kind of reminds me of that old phrase, and I'm gonna paraphrase this, and it's not gonna be the tidiest, but it's that little parable or story of, I think, the Buddha or somebody, or a bodhisattva or something, saying, oh, well, everybody should sit in meditation for an hour a day. And then somebody asks, what if the person's really busy and they don't have time for that? And then he says, they should sit for 2 hours a day, right? Like, the point being that this is where the good stuff is. This is where we get our best information, our best vision is in the rest and the connection to spirit. And I think that's the part with the Four of Swords. It's about putting down the intellect, right? It's about putting down the quick, busy mind, letting it rest, and connecting with spirit again. And I'm even just noticing in this card, so this is like a tomb, and he's got the one sword, and then we've got this stained glass window, which always represents that connection to spirit. The light comes through the stained glass window, and like being able to see spirit in some way, right? See the rainbow of colors. And it's like we put down the weight of trying to be all these things, perform all these things, and we come back to that spirit. And that is where our best information is coming from. That's what we can bring back here with the Chariot and the Queen of Swords, right? That direct, clear action that's based on what we truly want and not on what we think we're supposed to want. Putting down the weight of trying to see the world the way we think we're supposed to see it. Coming back to those peaceful visions, those beautiful visions, those creative visions, those integrated visions, those visions that bring us to something deeper and greater than ourselves. Yeah. This is some of my favorite energy to work with. And it really, truly is where the good stuff is hanging out. I have some affirmations to follow up this little chat. So here they are. I am allowed to change directions and listen to my inner knowing. This listening grants me fresh eyes to see the world with. I can trust my way of seeing the world. I allow that magic to filter through everything and shine a light on the path forward. Oh, those are such comforting affirmations and ones that I really will take with me, I think, this month. I would love to hear how it's feeling for you as we head into November and as we move through November. So please leave a comment and let me know how it is feeling for you. I would love, love, love to hear from you. Like and comment, subscribe, because all those things just help me keep doing this. Keep doing this beautiful work. You can also find me on Patreon. We're going to be going really deep into eclipse season and to how to work with this energy and really come home to ourselves and stay with ourselves through it all. So it's a really, really great place. It's a way for me to support you more deeply and for you to support me so I can keep showing up and doing this work. It's a really amazing community. Thank you to those who are already with me there. You can also find me on Instagram at Vrba, as well as on my website. So I'm going to leave all the links so you know exactly where to find me and make it really easy for you to find me. I will see you all so soon, and I love you so, so much, Pisces.